Welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews, brought to you by HollywoodPhoto.com. I am Eric, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this not so little gadget. As you can see, this is a full-size projector. This is a LCD projector by Pomarks, is the name of the company that makes this particular projector, and it is a 2600 lumens, fairly inexpensive projector. Now, what do I mean by inexpensive? Well, it's under $200. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, if you were looking to get a projector that you're going to use in your home as your main source of for your TV and to replace a TV permanently in a big home entertainment system, then you're probably going to spend minimally $1,000 upwards to $2,000 to get a projector that would have a high enough quality to be your sole TV. And this is not that. This is under $200. Fairly inexpensive for a projector. So what is this for? Well, this would be like an extra. Like maybe you have a kid, you don't want to put a TV in the room, or you don't have a good place to put a TV, but you'd like for your kid to be able to watch cartoons in the room. Maybe you have a rec room and you just don't have the money to buy like another $800 to $1,000 TV, and you want a fairly decent sized screen, then you could use this for that. For example, for me, in my bedroom, we have one TV in our living room that is our main TV, but we don't have a TV in our bedroom. We don't want to put a TV in our bedroom, but to have this to be able to project actually onto the ceiling so that we can lay in bed and watch TV on the ceiling, that's what I'm going to be using this for. And you can use it with a screen, of course. If you project directly onto a screen, that is ideal, but you don't have to. You can project this directly onto the wall. And you're going to see in some of the video that I'm going to show you, I'm projecting on the wall behind me here. It's not even a white wall. It's a medium, not dark, but medium yellowish tan color. And it still projects fine. Now, ideally, again, projecting on the white is best. However, you can project it, you'll see in the video, onto even a painted colored wall, and it's still, the quality is really good. It's 2600 lumens, so what does that mean? Well, that just speaks to the brightness of it. Now, it does use LEDs, so it's not like the old style projectors that had those bulbs that burned really super hot and also burnt out fairly fast and cost tons of money. This uses LEDs, so it'll last a really, really long time, and doesn't get as hot. But fairly bright. I'm going to show you right now some video. First, some video footage with it in the dark, complete darkness, or almost complete darkness. There's actually still some lights on in the room to the side, and you can see it really great. And then when I turn the lights on behind, not directly above, but behind, so there's light filling the room, you can still see it. Like with any projector, the darker the room, the better. But even if there are lights on, ambient lighting on, as long as they're not super, super bright lights, you can still see and watch it without any problem at all. So this is great for that. Now, I'm going to tell you about the things that I like about this, and then some things you'll want to know that maybe aren't so great just in general in terms of setting it up. Because this is an inexpensive projector, it doesn't have all the big features of the $1,000 projectors. So this can make a really big screen, up to 200-inch screen. But how it does that is based solely on the distance away from where you're projecting it. So in other words, there's no mechanism in here that makes that picture bigger or smaller. It gets bigger by moving it farther away from the wall or ceiling or wherever you're projecting it. It gets smaller the closer you get. So that is going to limit you in terms of where you put it. If you put it too close to the wall, it's going to be a really small picture. And in order to get a big picture, you got to pull it far away from the wall. But you got to have somewhere to set it, obviously, far away from the wall. So you'll see in the video that I took of projecting this against the wall behind me, I was getting about a 63-inch screen is what I was getting, which is bigger than the TV I have in my living room. In order to get that 63-inch screen, I had this about 70 inches away from the wall. So that's about a little over 5, almost 6 feet away from the wall. So you have to know that you have a place to put this. Now, one thing that this doesn't have that I wish it had, it would to me really take the value up higher. It does not have that standard tripod mount. So if you wanted to mount this to a tripod, and this is pretty heavy, so you'd have to have a fairly heavy-duty, strong tripod, but it would need a tripod mount, and it does not have a tripod mount. Now it does have, underneath these little feet here, these little rubber things come off, and there's a screw hole there. I'm going to actually take one off and show you. There's a screw hole there, and they all have this. So your standard projector mounts that you can buy have little extenders that go to each of these feet, and then this does come with a screw, so that you then screw through that mount to hook it onto that mount. Now most of those are wall mounts and ceiling mounts. So using one of those mounts, you could very easily attach this to the ceiling or to a wall. So that would be probably the way to do it. It's something you're going to want to more or less put it where you want to keep it. It's not something you're just going to take over to your friend's house and throw up. You could do that, but again, they'd have to have the place to put it. A blank wall, and then some type of a stand to set it on. But if you're putting it up permanently, then you can use one of those mounts, and you could attach it to your ceiling or wall and attach it where you want to keep it, and it would be fine. But it doesn't have that tripod mount so that you can easily kind of move it around wherever you want to use it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that. It does have this little screw here, which you can use to angle it, so that when you sit it down on a table, you can make this increase or decrease the angle slightly. It does have the manual focus knob here. So once you have this projected on the wall, and in order to focus it, you just shift this, and it's a very easy mechanism and very easy to see that it's in focus. Looking at the back here, you also have this knob is to help offset the angle, because obviously when you're pointing it somewhere, you're not always pointing it directly straight. Sometimes you're at an angle, which makes the top of the picture bigger and the bottom of the picture smaller, and you use this adjustment knob to adjust that and even it out so that you get a perfect rectangle, and it works really, really well. You also have all the inputs and outputs that you would need back here. You have 2 USB ports, you have 2 HDMI ports, you have a VGA port, you have a digital TV port, and then you have your component video input, your sound input, and your sound output. Now it does have a speaker built into it. And real quick, I'm going to jump over so you can hear just a little bit of video, one of my videos, playing through this and hear the loudness of the speaker. Done videos for already that you'll see in action, and others are things that I'm going to be covering in future videos. And you'll also see things that maybe don't work so great when you buy a cheap tablet. My tablet is the Asus 7-inch cheap tablet, paid about $100 for it, only has 1 gig of RAM, and the processor's like 1. So as you can see, this speaker works pretty good. If you had this nearby you, I mean, as far as just in general being able to hear, it works fine. Now obviously you're not going to get the best sound quality, that's why you have these audio outs. And they do include in the package an RCA to auxiliary converter. So you plug the RCA plugs into here, and then the auxiliary plug you can plug into any Bluetooth speaker or system to get better sound, which is really cool. They include that, and is probably what you want to do. Again, and if you have this mounted on the ceiling, then this little speaker being way up by the ceiling probably isn't going to do you a whole lot of good. So you'd want to connect that and then run a cord to speakers or a speaker system or something. But the speaker does work good if you're just using it, you know, in small applications, and you have this sitting on a table or something. It at least works good enough to hear, as you can see. One thing I really love, these USB ports are powered. So for example, I use this with a Chromecast, and I used it with the Amazon Fire Stick, as you can see in the video. And I could plug the Fire Stick into the HDMI and then plug the USB power into one of these USB ports. I didn't have to plug it into a separate plug because these ports do provide power. So I was able to just run the cord directly from this port to the Amazon Fire Stick or the Chromecast and power them from this unit, which is awesome, because then all you have to plug in is the unit itself. And it does have a good size length plug for this. Of course, depending on where you're putting it, you may need to run an extension, but it does have a pretty good length to it to reach average spots without any problem. You do also have some controls up here on the top to control volume, change the channel if you're running digital TV through it, as well as a menu or change the source. But of course, most of the time, and if you have this mounted or something, you're not going to use that. You're going to use a remote control. So it does come with a remote control, which you can use to control it as well. Again, you're not going to use this for a whole lot, probably, powering it on and powering it off. It does have a flip, so if you need to mount this upside down or something, you can flip the picture around without any problem. And a couple of other cool features. If you're running digital TV through it, you can use the channel changer and things like that. But if you're using Chromecast or Amazon Fire Stick or something like that, then you'll use the remote that came with that to control most things. But this is just the basic remote to control the projector. Overall, I think that the quality is very good for the price. Again, if I was going to set up a projector in place of a TV in my living room, then I would expect to buy like a $1,000 to $2,000 projector to get the super brightness and the high definition quality. But this gives really good quality. The projection itself, even though it does take HDMI, the projection itself is not considered a high definition projection, but in most cases it's hard to tell the difference. It was really good when watching video. If the video was a high def video, the quality of the picture was excellent. And again, this uses LEDs with an LCD as its projection, and the quality was very impressive. I did several different videos. You'll see a video I took where I'm using the Chromecast and just casting the screen of my phone. Some underwater videos I did, and the picture comes out really crystal clear on here. You can see it really good, especially in a dark room. And with any projector, the darker the room, the better. But again, like I said, you can have ambient lights on and still use this without any problem. But a dark room or darker room with maybe just a little bit of light is the ideal situation. And again, projecting onto a screen or onto a white wall is ideal, but you can also project it onto a tan yellow wall, as you saw, and still get a good picture. Overall, a really good quality product by Pomarks for the cost. Again, under $200. And who's ever heard of a projector for under $200, especially a projector that works? This projector works. It does a good job for what it is, for the cost of the money. You could hook up a game system. Again, do what I'm doing, mount it somewhere in your bedroom to project it onto the ceiling so that you have an extra TV or screen to watch when you're in your bedroom laying in bed, or in a kid's room, or maybe a garage. You want to watch football in the garage or something, could be good for that. Again, by Pomarks. Good quality product, and if you're in the market, you're looking for something like this, you don't want to spend much money, but you need an extra TV or an extra screen somewhere, then definitely a product I would recommend you consider. It is available on Amazon, and I'll have a link in the description below. You can click that link, jump over to Amazon, and read what other people have said about it, and pick one up for yourself. Anyway, that is it for this review. If you like this review, please click that like button. If you have any questions, you can put them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them if I can. And jump over to my channel. Check out all my other product reviews. Lots of electronics and gadgets and household appliances and some cool dog products as well. So you might want to check those out. If you have an Android phone, be sure to check out my Android app reviews. Lots of cool apps that really enhance the functionality of your Android phone and make it a better phone. Anyway, that is going to be it until next time, so have a great day.